The Islamic Center at New York University is pleased to present the following program. For more of our lectures, please visit us online at ICNYU.org.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the universe, the Master of the Day of Judgment. I bear witness and testimony to the oneness of Allah, to His magnificence, His omnipotence, His might, His glory, to His being the creator and sustainer of all things, the giver of life, the guider of hearts, the Master of the Day of Judgment. And I bear witness to the fact that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is a servant and final messenger. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him and upon all those who choose to tread in his path until the last day. It is said that when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam would receive revelation, it would come to him in different ways. The privy only to the Prophet ﷺ that there was a multitude of ways that when revelation would come from Allah Azza wa Jal through the angel Jibreel ﷺ to the Prophet ﷺ, it would come to him in different modes and manners. And in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, Umar radiallahu anh, he says that when the Prophet ﷺ, sometimes when he would receive this wahi, sometimes when he would receive this revelation, it would sound to us as if the buzzing of bees were coming around the Prophet ﷺ. And so on one occasion we are with the Prophet ﷺ and this sound comes about and we understand, we believe that a revelation is coming down to him, that we are in Mecca and verses are coming down to him. So in anticipation we are waiting to see what the Prophet ﷺ has just received and what he would in turn teach us. And after the sound leaves the Prophet ﷺ, it is said that he sits down and he faces towards the Kaaba and he makes dua to Allah Azza wa Jal that, "Oh Allah, give to us more bounties and do not take away from us any of our bounties. And give us respect and do not humiliate us. Give to us and do not deprive from us. Give preference to us and do not give preference to those who are against us. And be pleased with us and let us be pleased." And upon completion of this dua, the Prophet ﷺ, he then says to his companions, he then says to his sahabis, that Allah Azza wa Jal has revealed upon me 10 different ayat, 10 different verses, and if you were to act upon them, you would be indeed guaranteed Jannah. And then he recites to them the first 10 verses of the surah that we know is Surah Al-Mu'minun, the surah of the believers. That here is a verse, here is in surah, here is a chapter of the Qur'an that it outlines for us so many different things, different attributes of those who profess belief, but more importantly, those who are defined in these 7 attributes of belief that are found in these initial 10 verses of this surah. They are following the initial premise that is set in the first verse of this surah that says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that indeed how successful are the believers. And here the Prophet ﷺ is saying that if you were to act upon these verses, if you were to ponder upon their meaning, if you were to implement them into the course of your life, you will be amongst people who will be given paradise. And so we are to understand, we are to see that the initial verse, it is giving us an understanding of falah, it is giving us an understanding of success. That you are given total falah, you are given total success, that this is something that is given to those who profess a certain understanding of belief and would carry out upon the attributes, the actions that are mentioned in the verses thereafter, but they are giving a different understanding of success than what you and I might understand it to be. That in our mindsets, in our mentalities, someone is successful if they have a certain number of zeros after $1 on the check that they receive from the employment that they have, that if they put a certain number of hours into an office, or they get degree upon degree and credential upon credential, this is how they understand success. But we would see that success from our Shari standpoint is something that is different. That if we were to truly understand what is success, if we were to truly understand when we are successful, it can't be of something that is just momentarily, something that we are complacent with, something that we are given and then we lose. That if I have been given $1 million, if I have been given $100,000, if I have been given $10,000, if my goal is to achieve but just $1,000, what do I do after I get it? Now if I have achieved the utmost of success, I don't need to do anything anymore. Or even beyond that, how far will it go with me? How far can I take it with me? What is it that it will carry forth with me? I can't take it with me when I leave from this world. So on that day when I am taken from this world and make moves to go into the next, and I can't take that thing that I determined would give me success or makes me successful, does that mean that now I am a loser? That the hours that I put in, that the dollars that I accumulated, that the great bank account that I have behind me, this is not something that will carry forth with me. I can't take it to me and say to the angels, here is a check that I will write out to you. Now give me paradise, give me Jannah. But when I leave from this place, it leaves behind with me. And I can't take it with me. And if that's what my understanding of success is, then when I lose that success, I am something but simply as a loser. And so Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, that how successful are those who are the believers. That He is not giving an insight, He is not speaking to us in terms of how we would just completely go over and over and hour upon hour seeking the dunya, putting all kinds of hours and putting all kinds of emphasis so that we could go from the pursuit of our desires, the pursuit of our nafs. أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَى, that have you seen the one who takes his nafs, his desire, as being his Lord? I will never find complete satisfaction, I will never find complete success if all I'm doing is chasing after things of the material world. All I want is more and more and more, and it will never satisfy me because I can never have enough of it. And this is not true success. That Islam comes as a movement that is defined by social equity, that when we would stand to pray, you would see people from all different races, all different ethnicities, all different socio-economic backgrounds, people who make a ton of money and people who make no money at all. When they are prostrating to their Lord, they are all the same. And it is not to say that wealth is something that is abhorrent in our deen. That we know that we have the likes of people like Abdurrahman ibn Auf and Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhuma, that these were people who they had a great amount of wealth, but they knew where it came from. And their success wasn't determined by the fact that they had a great provision in this world, but they were determined to be successful based off of other factors. But it's something that we have surely lost sight of. And so our understanding of success is that I will be more and more mobile, I will take on position after position, I will keep going upwards and upwards and upwards, and it won't make a difference to me what I'm depriving myself of in terms of a family life, in terms of physical wellness.